boys and girls. Welcome back. It's math time. Now, Pete is here helping Mrs. Brown water her rose bushes. Now, Mrs. Brown needs to water them for 2 minutes every day, right, Pete? Yep. Now, Mrs. Brown knows that 1 minute is the same as 60 seconds. She already watered with Pete's help for 1 minute. So she already finished 60 seconds. And since the roses need 2 minutes every day, she has to reach 120. So she finished 60 seconds and she's gonna need help to finish watering them. Can you count with Pete? Let's go. Starting with 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120. Wow, Pete, thank you so much for helping Mrs. Brown. Now you can rest from all that watering. Well, we counted to 120, which is the same as 2 minutes. So let's take a look at Farmer Brown and his hundreds chart. Remember, he's been helping us to identify numbers between 1 and 100 and some even bigger ones. But today, I think we'll just work on a few numbers in here. So when I say the number, you find it on the chart and see if Farmer Brown agrees with you. Ready, Farmer Brown?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay, let's go. Number 57. Come on, Farmer Brown, find it. See if you get it first or the students. There it is. Number 57. Good. How about 31? Come on, Farmer Brown. Come on, boys and girls, you can do this. Where's 31? Yup, there it is. How about number 60? He's coming. You gonna beat him? Ooh, number 60. And what about number 9? There it is. And number 23. All right, wow, you guys are doing so good, and you too, Farmer Brown. Let's try just one more. How about 59? And there it is. Bravo, we have practiced finding numbers. I bet that's a game you could play around the house because there are numbers all over the place, like in recipes, and numbers in telephone numbers, numbers in books, I don't know, newspapers. I bet you can find lots of numbers and tell your family what they are. Right? Good. Okay, so now let me try giving you a little direction of how to divide a square. We have different ways to divide a square. Can you think of some? Well, first of all, remember, a square has 4 sides. Well, we'll do it this way. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try to make them pretty equal, right? So, since this square has no parts in it and no parts are missing, it's a whole square. That is a whole square. In fact, I'll do one more side by side, 2 whole squares. Okay, one is larger, one is smaller, but anyway, they're squares. So, when an object is divided into 3 equal parts, each part is called 1/3. So you see, this has 3 parts. One part is 1/3. I'm going to show you just 1/3. That's a third of this object. Okay, now, how many thirds make up the whole? Right, 1, 2, 3. So remember, one of them by itself is called 1/3. Okay, how many fourths make up a whole? How many fourths? Well, first of all, let me divide this square into 4 equal parts. There are different ways to do it. I could have done it with long lines like this, but instead I'm going to do it vertically and horizontally. So, as you can see, there are 4 parts. What is it called when you select just one of those parts? Like that. That's called 1/4. This is 1/4 of a whole. Another name we give it sometimes is a quarter. This is a quarter of the square. So this is a third and this is a fourth or a quarter. Okay, great. So, moving on, talking about numbers a little bit more, I'd like to remember the story of Noah. Because Noah obeyed God, and God, in the book of Genesis, let me see, Genesis chapter 6, verses 14 to 16. Well, here's Genesis 6 and verses 14. God told Noah exactly how big to make the ark, exactly what size. So Noah had to obey numbers, not only to make the ark, but also to do it the right way. It says, so make yourself an ark of cypress wood, make rooms in it, and coat it with pitch inside and out. This is how you are to build it. The ark is to be 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet high. Make a roof for it and finish the ark to within 18 inches of the top. And it also says put a door in the side of the ark and make lower, middle, and upper decks. So God was very specific with Noah that he had to measure and measure and measure every part of that boat. Very important orders. So, because God is all wise, he knew exactly the right size to fit in all of those animals and to fit Noah and all the food they would need, plus how to make sure that the ark would float on the water and that everyone inside would be safe. So God knew exactly the measurements that were needed, and Noah knew to obey. He measured correctly and he obeyed everything that God had told him to do. So, let's see, if I'm going to measure something, for example, my AirPod case, if I want to know how big it is, this box, well, we've been working with centimeters, so I'm going to try that. First thing I will do is look for the 0. There it is. There's the 0. Remember, I'm using centimeter side, and the cm tells me that's centimeters. I'm not using inches today. See, that says inch? No, today I'm using centimeters, cm, centimeters, and there's the 0. So I'm going to line up my 0 with the bottom of the box and measure up to the top. So you can see that this AirPod box measures 5 centimeters. Let's try it one more time. 5 centimeters. Okay, let's see. I have a llama. I wonder, the tallest part of my llama up to the ears, I wonder how big my llama is. Well, let's take the centimeter ruler. And again, I have to be careful to find the bottom part of my llama. See, like that, line up his foot, or her foot, and go all the way to the ear, and that stops right about here. So this llama is 6 centimeters high. 6 centimeters high. You see that? How wide is the llama, you ask? Okay, let's check it out. So from the tail, I could start at the 0 and to the nose. So that's 4.5, because look, the nose is in between the 4 and the 5. Can you see that? I'm making an imaginary line from the nose down to the ruler. So looks like the llama is 4.5 centimeters wide. Okay, let's try another one. I have a lovely sculpture. Isn't that sweet? How tall is my sculpture? Let's take a look. Line up the 0 with the base, the bottom of the sculpture, and go to the highest point, which is the mother's head, or teacher, whatever you think that is. And I see that her head goes just above the 10. So I would say this is about 10 centimeters high. 10 centimeters. Wow, one more item. This one is much easier to check because this has sharp edges. It's so tricky when things are round. So all I have to do with this is start at one corner, line it up to the 0 like this. Make sure that it's straight. If you go like this, it's not going to be a correct measurement. It has to be nice and straight. So line it up to the 0. And it stops right before the 13. So I would say this is about 12.5 centimeters, or 12.75 centimeters. Almost 13 centimeters long. How about you? What can you measure? Maybe you can measure a drinking cup, or a pencil, or the pencil box, or a tissue box. I'll bet you find some interesting things around your house. So for today's extra homework, please look around for some interesting objects to measure and take a picture of them in the class activities. I'll write up the directions for you to follow. And I'll be so curious to see how you measured. Do you remember to put the beginning of the ruler at the bottom or the side of the object? Very important. Remember, Noah obeyed God and he measured his ark very carefully. And we do the same. Well, that's all for math today. And I'm very grateful that you joined me for all of these lessons, these videos. And I wish you happy hunting for your measuring. Have a blessed afternoon.